All right, so welcome to my house. I knew I forgot my computer at home for a reason. Anyways, I'm gonna try and make this video quick. This is going to be the sheet that everybody uses. Kendra's gonna use this. FA is gonna use this. I'm gonna use this. Miss Davis is gonna use this. Everybody is gonna have all the information that they're ever gonna need on this one sheet. That's the idea. There should be no other sheet outside of this sheet. This is the only sheet. Okay, if there's anything missing, or if there's tabs you would like added, you can ask me, and I can add it. I can do whatever you need, and get this the way that you need it to look, in 5 minutes. But it's important that we're all on the same page so we all see what each other is doing. And the best way to do that is if we share a sheet. Okay, so this is the way it works. All right, we're just gonna walk through this. This is, let's say a student is applying for cohort 16. They're going to fill out the application, and it's going to be John Doe. Okay, so Kendra gets the email or whatever the information she gets, and she's going to start putting in all his information, right? So John, this is Kendra here. You notice I'm under Kendra's tab. All right, Miss Benoit is not going to go into Kendra's tab and start doing stuff. Kyle is not going to go into Kendra's tab and start doing stuff. In the same way, vice versa. Kendra is not going to go on Miss Benoit's FA tab and start doing stuff under her tab. All right, everybody stays on their own tab, but everyone can see what each other is doing. If Kendra wants to see what I'm doing, she can go to Kyle's tab. Okay, very simple, right? So she gets this application. It's going to be John Doe. All right, notice this cleared. All right, she's not going to click this yet. I'm going to show you what this is. This is the final step. All right, John Doe has an email. He has the last four. He did his student application. He filled out, his FAFSA. He turned in his driver's license, his social security, his birth certificate. His date of birth is 10/10. Messing up here. 10/10/2000. All right. His age. That's something I'm going to fix, Kendra. It should have auto-populated. We'll say his age is 25. All right. Yeah, it should be 25. Thinking about the math here for a second. He's a, let's see, black male. His math is 265, 265, 265. He completed his right to review. He has no background. Oh, sorry. He has a clean background history, right? Kendra, if he doesn't, it's very helpful. If you see the rap sheet, pick the rap sheet, and very short, felony, misdemeanor, theft, or felony gun charge, you know what I mean? You can put those in the comments there. But I usually look at those individually anyways, but it's just helpful, because if it's just a speeding ticket, that's not something I really want to have to look up. So if you just put those in the comments, that would be helpful. Drug screen, let's see, I don't know if it's passed or fail. Let's see. Negative. All right, transcript, yes. GPA was 3.0. Physical, yes. Did that 10, 20, 25. Yes, 10, 10. Why do I keep doing that? All right. Immunizations, yes. COVID, flu, yes. Now this is going to be a portion of the type of entry. Okay, is this somebody who is re-entering, who already failed term 1, right? Are they going to be re-entry or initial? If they're a re-entry, John's a re-entry. We're going to pick re-entry. He was in cohort 21. Oh, I'm sorry. Drop date was 10 10/25, right? And the cohort was 21. All right. Did he turn in documents? Oh, date documents turned in 10/10/26. Does he have any healthcare experience? Yes. At this point, Kendra has all the documentation. Everything that needed to be filled out is filled out. This is what we call a student who is who can be considered for the program. Why can they be considered for the program? Because they've turned in everything. At this point, anybody who hasn't turned in everything is not to be considered. Okay? They can be potential, They're potential, but they can't be considered. Nobody can be considered until they've done everything that they need to do to be considered. Okay? No one's going to start paying you your salary before you've gotten the job. It's the same thing as here, right? You're not going to be considered for the program until you have turned in everything for the program. Once they have turned in everything from the program, Miss Kendra is going to press cleared here. Okay? And all that does is that sends John Doe's information to Ms. Benwall's tab. Okay? When she does not click cleared, Ms. Benwall never sees that human being on purpose. All right? I don't want Ms. Benwall having to look over here and to see who needs to get done and who doesn't. She's got her own list right here. All right? And right now it's nobody. When John Doe completes everything he has to do with Kendra, Kendra will click cleared here, and then Ms. Benwall gets his information. Then from here, Ms. Benwall is going to call John. John, need you to come in and discuss, because remember, he already filled out a FAFSA. I don't know what the other paperwork is, the ISIL or whatever that thing is. What needs to happen is a conversation. Somebody needs to come into they need to come into the FA department where they can discuss payment. Okay? There needs to be a face-to-face interaction on this because these people have no idea what's going on. They have no idea about the loans. And I know this because they come to me constantly. All right, what am I paying for? I don't know how much this is, how much that is. We need a very active, responsive FA department where they are meeting with these people constantly. Whenever they have, especially in the beginning, they need to know how much the program costs in total. They need to know if they need to pay out of pocket, exactly how much they have to pay out of pocket, when that is due. Okay, things like that. And so that's what's going to happen. Ms. Benwall is going to have a list here, John Doe. All right, she's going to get his information from Kendra maybe, or maybe I can create a tab with his email address, whatever it is. But we can fix that. But some way, somehow, John Doe is going to be met with financial aid. From there, she's going to pick an FA status. All right. Let's see. Default. Okay, so he was a re-entry. He's going to, let's say, is there an out-of-pocket? There should be an out-of-pocket. Okay, so I don't have that there. All right, so that's something I can fix as well. If there's certain things you would like added there. Okay, we'll have a out-of-pocket. Discussed payment plan of, I don't know, of $300 a month. Student says they can do that. I don't know, something like that. All right. Once that conversation has been had, and once that student agrees that they can pay for school, all right, from there, you're going to click cleared. All right. Then notice, if you don't click cleared, if they're not cleared by the FA department, well, they shouldn't. Okay, that's something I'm going to have to fix. They're not supposed to be, he's not supposed to be on my sheet until he's cleared by FA, naturally. Yeah, see, there's a big error. All right, so I'll work on that. But that's the way it's going to work. When they're cleared, she's going to click the FA cleared, and that's going to send John Doe to me. All right. From there, John Doe is going to go, the computer's going to look at them and determine whether they're, a high risk, a low risk. And then from there, I'm going to choose the top 36, provided that we have 36. Okay. And then out of this, I'm going to offer. So I emailed John. John, we'd love to have you. You seem like a great student. All right. And so I'm going to offer. All right. And depending on his response, if he accepts, that's going to go from pending to accepted. All right. And then that's it. It's really that simple. Then after that, they're going to, from there, that conversation with FA has already been had. They've already been cleared by FA. Now, if there's any other paperwork that needs to be done, that needs to be done at that time. And that's it. Then it's just a matter of orientation. doing their nurse portal, and all the other stuff, right? But that's the way it's gonna go. Is Kyndra puts in their information, FA starts meeting with these people, because half of these people, okay, we had like 55 last time. About 30% of them couldn't even pay for school, and they didn't, and a lot of them didn't even know it. And I know that because they would, well, I can't afford it. And they were telling me that at the very last minute. If this was done a good month or two before the classes start, we wouldn't have had that problem. So this conversation needs to happen early. And then after this conversation, after they've decided that they can pay for school, then they'll be considered for acceptance. And then they're given an offer letter, and then they have to follow through. Then they have to sign the payment plan or whatever it is. All right. I hope this helps. If there's anything in this sheet that you would like changed, added, or whatever, let me know.